So here we are, Adam, week two. And Adam, I'll send you, because I don't think you got last week's video, so you should get both of these. So you can watch the bottom one first, which should come by itself. So you can hear that review. And some of the things we wanted to work on this week were, accelerating our mass. Remember, force equals mass times acceleration. So if we can accelerate our mass down the mound or towards the plate, towards our target, we are going to ultimately be able to generate more force on the baseball, thus creating more velocity. Okay, so just looking at last week, I want to point this out to show you in just a few drills we did this week how much progress we made. So if we start at your initial leg kick, okay, I'll even give you the right there. You notice the time of 1.67, 1.7. Okay, so we take you all the way into landing last week, and you're about, I don't know, 1.3, 1.4 seconds. So from your initial movement towards home plate was taking you about 1.4 seconds. This week, with just a little bit of work we did with the belt, if we look at your initial movement, so right there we'll mark it at, let's just say 0.7 is when you start your movement, and let's carry you into landing. Boom, and so we see you're at about 0.9, 0.86, 0.9, something like that. So that's, you're accelerating your mass, 0.4, half a second faster down the mound, which is great. This is exactly what we wanted to accomplish this week, and you did a phenomenal job, and your video demonstrates that. So we can watch them both, and you can see how much faster your body moves in the top video as opposed to the lower video. So as far as accomplishing our intent this week, our intent was to move faster, and you did a phenomenal job with that. So now let's look at what we want to start working on for this week. All that energy that is moving in that direction, remember, it has to come to a stop. Okay, we talked about the pole vaulting analogy. We're going to create this energy moving in this direction. It's got to stop, and then the hips can then rotate around. Okay, that's what we're ultimately trying to accomplish here. So when you, let's see if I can get you into landing, I want to point out a couple of things. Okay, so there we are at landing. Okay, and what you're going to notice here is draw a line right there at your front knee. Okay, that's the point where we should immediately become stable so that our hips can rotate around the axis of the front hip. Okay, that's where we want rotation to occur. What you're going to see is we're still going to leak a lot of energy. Get rid of that. There we go. I want you to watch how much energy is going to leak forward from our initial landing. Look at all that energy we just let collapse towards home plate. Okay. Now, rather than strictly focusing on, and yes, we can do the stability drills, the bowler poses, so that we begin to feel front side, feel what that feels like to create a stable landing. But the issue is actually back here on the back side. The issue is right here, right here on the back side. And what we see happening is as you are moving, and again, you're moving much faster, which is great, okay, but you're going to see that the hips really don't get cleared. So all we're doing is falling as opposed to creating force down the mound, okay. We're allowing our front side to just swing open, and our weight's just kind of falling forward. And when it falls forward, we get into landing, you see your back, goodness gracious, your back foot there is not turned. So if my foot's not turned, I know my hip's not turned. Okay? So if that hip's not turned open, we've still got a lot of weight here in the back that has to transfer through. And that's what you're going to see happen. So you get into landing, and now we can, if we just focus on the midsection of the body, you can see this is a terrible job right here. I apologize. Get off. There we go. Thank you. If we just focus on the hips, and we can see all that weight continuing to transfer or move forward towards home plate. So we land, and we see your body leak, 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 leak. Now we get completely open. Okay? The problem is we're already throwing the ball. We want to be in this position. In other words, our hips open, our back foot open, when our upper body is about right here. Okay, that would be perfect. If we can be completely open with the hips there, when the upper body is in this position. So yeah, we can talk about, energy leaking out the front side. We can focus on the front side, which we'll do a few drills, to establish that feel. But what I really want to do is make sure we're getting a complete transfer of weight, complete transfer of energy soon enough. And all that's happening is that we're transferring energy from the lower half late, which is causing us to not be able to stabilize the front side and rotate around. Okay, so we're talking segmented rotation, hips, then shoulders. But you can see your upper body is rotating at the same time your hips are. Okay, so Adam, hey, we set a goal this week to move faster. You accomplish that in, 10 minutes. You're moving half a second faster, which is phenomenal. This week we're going to work on weight transfer. How do we transfer the weight so that we land and we're able to firm up the front side and allow the hips to truly rotate and whip the arm through even faster. So you're doing a great job, and I will see you this week.